Many years ago, before Kewe grew up and started calling herself Boss Lady K, she had already earned a title inside their family compound, which was Her Royal Highness, last born of mass destruction. From the very day she was born, Peace packed its bag and left that house. Her mother, Mama Ero, used to say that Kewe's cry as a baby sounded like a police siren. She would scream until everybody in the compound woke up, and even the neighbors in the next building would shout, "Madam, give that pikin breast now, I beg." Kewe was the last born after 4 grown children who had already tasted enough wahala. But by the time she was 3, she had already discovered how to manipulate everyone like a remote control. When she wanted something, she would start with, "Daddy, if you don't buy it, I will faint oh." And then she would roll on the ground until her father, Papa Okiemute, gave up. Her siblings, Karo, Yoma, Ese and Ovie, quickly learned that whenever Kewe started crying, their mother would shout, "Who made my baby cry? You want to kill me, Abi?" And without even hearing the story, she would slap the nearest person. One day, when Kewe was about 6, she poured sand inside Yoma's beans because Yoma refused to give her 1 spoon. When Yoma screamed, Kewe ran to her mother crying louder, "Mommy, Yoma pushed me. She pushed me because I am small." Mama Ero rushed out with her wrapper tied like an emergency belt. "Yoma, you this girl, how many times will I tell you to stop bullying your little sister?" Yoma tried to explain, "Mommy, she poured sand inside my food." But Kewe quickly interrupted, "It was an accident, Mommy. I was playing how to cook." Yoma threw her spoon away and shouted, "Mommy, this girl no be human being, oh. She came to torment us." From that day, everyone started calling her Small Madam. Kewe would climb on top of Karo's bed to jump, spill his perfume and then say, "I just wanted to see how it smells now." Whenever she spoiled something, she would start crying immediately before anyone accused her. That was her safety mechanism. Even when she entered primary school, Kewe continued with the same energy. One afternoon, she came home with blood on her lip. Her mother shouted, "What happened? Who beat my baby?" Kewe pointed outside and said, "One useless boy called me short." Papa Okiemute asked, "So you beat him?" "No, Daddy, I bite him." The father removed his glasses and froze. "You what?" "I bite him small." Her father almost squeezed her. "Kewe!" But she ran to hide. "Mommy, tell Daddy now. I was only defending my family honor." By the time she entered secondary school, she had already built a reputation as the girl who never kept quiet. Teachers knew her name more than their own. She once argued with her principal because she believed the school bell was ringing too loudly. She even suggested that they should reduce the sound a little because it disturbs her concentration. When the principal punished her, she confidently said, "Sir, I accept this punishment with joy, but next time, please take my advice." The man nearly collapsed. At home, things were not better. Every December, when her older siblings came home for Christmas, Kewe would resume her last-born duty as if she had been on break from it. She would eat Karo's meat, borrow Yoma's shoes without asking, and still accuse Ovie of stealing her lip gloss. If her siblings tried to discipline her, she would shout, "Touch me now and see what my mommy will do to you." And Mama Ero would indeed come out holding her Bible. "Karo, leave my daughter alone, oh, she's still a child." "Mommy, she's not a child, she's 20 years, Karo would protest. "And so, even if she's 40, she's still my baby." Baba Okiemute was the only one who tried to control her, but even he sometimes lost his strength. One Sunday morning, he shouted, "Kewe, go and sweep this compound before church, oh." Kewe, who was painting her nails, replied, "Daddy, let me finish this finger, I beg." "You dey craze?" her father shouted. "So nail paint is now important than commandments?" "Daddy, it's part of self-care now." Her father chased her with a broom until she ran out laughing and screaming, "Daddy, leave me, oh, you are not young again. I beg, no stress yourself." Now, every visitor who came to their house knew Kewe's presence before seeing her. She would greet them loudly as if she was the owner of the house. Uncle, welcome. Oh, what did you bring for me? If they brought nothing, she would whisper to her mother, next time, tell your friend to come with something, not empty hand. Her siblings sometimes plotted together, hoping that one day Karma would visit her. Once, Yoma told Carol, one day, one man will come and match her energy, and that day, I will cook rice for everybody and celebrate. Carol laughed. I beg, make the man come quick before I relocate permanently. Even when Kewe finished university, she still acted like a small girl in the house. She would wake up late and still ask, who off the fan? The weather is too hot. Her mother would bring her breakfast to the room and say, my daughter, eat before you faint, oh, while the rest of the family would just shake their heads in silence. One afternoon, when Yoma visited with her husband and children, Kewe took her sister's car keys and drove around the street without permission. She returned smiling, saying, sister, your car moves like snail, but I helped you stretch it small. Yoma shouted, are you mad? What if you crashed it? Kewe shrugged. And then you finally buy a better one now. Everyone burst out laughing, except Yoma, who looked like she wanted to flog her. Even the neighbors had stories. One neighbor said she once saw Kewe arguing with a goat that blocked her way, shouting, you don't get respect, Abi. Move from the road, Jare. However, no matter how chaotic she was, the funny thing was that everyone still loved her. She could make you laugh even while annoying you. She had a way of twisting her words so that you would forget she just insulted you. She would suddenly hug you and say, I beg, no vex. You know I am your baby. And somehow you would forgive her again. By the time Kewe finished NYSC, the whole family had already started holding private meetings on how to push her out of the house before she pushed everyone into hypertension. One evening, Carol sat with their father on the veranda shaking his head. He said, Daddy, if Kewe doesn't get married soon, this compound will collapse so. And Papa Okiemute replied, my son, we are all in God's hands, but the man that will marry Kewe must have anointing and spiritual bulletproof. Oh. Kewe didn't even care. She would stroll around the house in bomb shorts and her father's old polo, humming loudly and disturbing everyone's peace. When Yoma told her, Kewe, aren't you going to look for a job? She replied, I am on break from life for now. Break from life? Yes, oh, break. I have been in school for years. Now I need time to rest my destiny. Well, she finally decided to start a small online thrift business, buying and selling second-hand clothes. It wasn't much, but at least it gave her pocket money to buy new wigs and do her nails every 2 weeks. Now, she would walk around the compound with her phone, shouting at her customers, Madam, we don't do payments on delivery. I am not an NGO, I beg. Her father once said, if only you used this your energy to pray, hey, angels would fear you. For a very long time, everything was going fine until the day she met Kenna. It was at a friend's birthday party in Warri. Kewe went there wearing a bright orange dress that was so tight that even the chair complained before she sat down. She was laughing the loudest, taking selfies and eating all the small chops as if she owned the place. Then, she noticed one quiet guy sitting alone near the speaker, sipping malt and pressing his phone. He wore a plain shirt and looked completely unbothered by the chaos. Kewe whispered to her friend, who is that one that sat down as if he came for burial? Her friend smiled. That is Kenna. He is a graphics designer, very quiet and kind. He just doesn't like too much talk. Kewe smirked. That's good though. Me, I like quiet men. They are easier to control. So she walked over, smiled her prettiest smile and said, Hi, you don't talk. Abi, you came here for fasting me. Kenna looked up and smiled calmly. No, I just prefer peace to noise. Kewe blinked. Are you calling me noise? Kenna smiled. I didn't mention your name. She laughed nervously. You are lucky I am in a good mood. Otherwise, I would have replied you properly. Then, "It's a good day for both of us," he said, and continued pressing his phone. Kewe was speechless. For the first time in her life, a man didn't melt under her charm. He didn't ask for her number. He did not compliment her, and he did not even glance twice at her eyelashes that had taken her 2 hours to fix. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept replaying his calm voice in her head, the way he didn't look intimidated or impressed, and it disturbed her spirits deeply. 2 days later, she found his Instagram handle through her friend and sent him a message. "Hi, it is Kewe from the party." Much to her disappointment, this man replied 3 hours later with just one word, "Oh." Kewe frowned. "What kind of dry reply is that?" she muttered. But she didn't give up. She kept messaging him until he finally agreed to meet for lunch. When they met again, she talked non-stop for 30 minutes about herself, her siblings, her business, her problems with NEPA, and even her plans to become a big influencer. Kewe just nodded slowly, eating his food like a man attending a silent retreat. When she finally paused to drink water, he said, "You know, you talk like a radio without an off button." Kewe gasped. "Excuse me?" Kenna smiled politely, "But it's not a bad thing totally. I find it interesting." That day, something strange happened in Kewe's life. Her mouth, which was usually faster than lightning, went blank. She didn't know if she was angry or impressed. As weeks passed, they started seeing each other more often. Kewe still thought she was in control, so she would tell him, "If you like me, you must prove it all. You will take me shopping this weekend." Sometimes he agreed, but other times he would say, "No, I have plans." Kewe would flare up. "What kind of plans are more important than me?" He would smile and say, "My peace." Kewe nearly fainted the first time he said that. Nobody had ever chosen peace over her before. Sometimes, when he didn't answer her calls immediately, she would send 10 messages. "Where are you? You are ignoring me. Are you okay? Better call me now before I vex so." Then he would reply hours later with, "Sorry, I was busy working." Kewe complained to her friend, "This man is too calm. He's not even romantic. He doesn't even fear me." Her friend laughed. "My sister, maybe God finally sent you your teacher." And it was true, because soon the signs began to show. One weekend, when she visited him, she noticed his house was too neat. Everything was arranged. The bed, the floor was clean and smooth, and shoes were lined up like soldiers. Kewe dropped her handbag on the chair, kicked off her shoes, and threw her scarf on the bed. Kenna just stared quietly, and then he said, "Can you please pick up those things?" Kewe rolled her eyes. "Why is this one behaving like an old man?" Kenna didn't blink. He just said, "If you can't keep your things properly, please don't come next time." Kewe froze. "Are you chasing me?" "No, I am teaching you." That night, Kewe didn't sleep well. In her head, she kept saying, "This man must be using juju. How can someone be this calm and still win an argument?" But still, she stayed. However, her pride wouldn't let her back down, so she started showing him small pepper too, like coming late to dates, switching off her phone and ignoring his texts. But Kenna didn't react. He never begged or shouted. He would just send a message, "When you are ready to talk, I will be here." See, that thing humbled her spirit more than any insult would have. One day, she shouted, "Kenna, are you not even jealous? What kind of man are you?" He replied, "I am a peaceful man." Kewe hissed, "You are not serious." Kenna smiled, "Exactly." One afternoon, she called him 15 times and he didn't pick. So she rushed to his house, boiling with anger. When she entered, he was watching football. "Kenna, why didn't you pick my call?" she demanded. Kenna muted the TV and said, "You didn't say it was an emergency." "I was worried," Kewe snapped. Kenna nodded. "Okay. Next time, just say that first before shouting." Kewe opened her mouth, then closed it again. She didn't even know what to say. Later, when she tried to act romantic, he told her, Kewe, love is not noise. Sometimes you have to listen more than you talk. Kewe laughed out loud. So you are teaching me how to love? You that don't even know how to say I miss you. Kenna looked at her for a long time and said, let's be clear, if you need noise, I am not your type. Those words landed like thunder in her chest and Kewe felt powerless. He wasn't rude or harsh, but he had boundaries, something she had never met before. When she got home that night, her siblings noticed she was unusually quiet. Yoma smiled. Kewe, are you okay? Kewe smiled awkwardly. Yes, I'm just thinking. Carol laughed. Ah, that is a miracle. So Kewe can think now. This man is really doing deliverance work on you. Even her mother said, whatever spirit is making my daughter calm, may God preserve it. But Kewe didn't say anything. She tried to convince herself that she was only tolerating Kenna's attitude because she liked his bird and calm voice. But the truth was, something about him made her restless. He didn't chase her like other men. He didn't panic when she got angry, and that thing was scattering her brain. One Saturday, she wore her finest wig, painted her lips red as if she was attending a presidential campaign, and went to Kenna's place without calling. When she reached his door, she heard music playing and the smell of stew coming from the kitchen. She smiled proudly. Ah, at least this one knows how to cook. Oh. She opened the door and entered, but to her shock, she saw a beautiful woman in a wrapper turning soup in Kenna's kitchen. Her heart jumped straight into her throat. Excuse me, who are you and why are you cooking in my boyfriend's house? She shouted. The woman turned calmly, smiled and said, good afternoon. You must be Kewe. Kenna told me you were dramatic, but I didn't know it was this deep. Kewe's voice rose. Oh, so he's already gossiping about me with you? Very good. You must be his new girlfriend, Abi. Just then, Kenna came out from the bedroom holding a towel. Kewe, what is all this noise? Kewe shouted at the woman. Ask her what she's doing here before I lose my manners. Kenna sighed. That is my sister, Ogenewe. She came from Benin yesterday. Kewe froze mid-shout. Your sister? Yes, my sister, he repeated slowly, looking unimpressed. Now, please, apologize. Kewe blinked. Apologize? For what? I was only... Kenna looked at her firmly. Kewe, you came into my house uninvited, shouted at my sister, and accused her of sleeping with me. If you can't apologize, please leave. Kewe felt heat rising from her toes to her head. Nobody had ever told her to leave before. She forced a fake laughter. I was only joking now. Why are you taking it serious? But Kenna frowned. You called shouting at people a joke? That day, she left his house humiliated, pretending she was fine. But the embarrassment burned her soul like pepper on a wound. When she got home, her siblings noticed she was unusually quiet again. Yoma asked, what happened? Kewe hissed, nothing. It's just men and their wahala. Carol laughed. No, this one no be ordinary wahala. Oh. I can feel the humility from here. For the next few days, Kenna didn't call her. She too couldn't even bring herself to call him first. Her pride fought her, but by the fourth day, she broke and sent a message. I am sorry for shouting at your sister. I overreacted. He replied hours later with one sentence. Thank you for realizing that. She was expecting him to add, I miss you or come over. But no, he added nothing. By the weekend, she was restless. She called him again and he didn't pick. She sent voice notes crying small. Still, she got silence. She drove to his place, this time after confirming he was home, and found him washing his car. Kenna, you are ignoring me, she said. He smiled. No, I am just giving you space to listen to yourself. Listen to myself? I don't understand, Kewe asked. Because you never do, he said, still washing his car. Kewe frowned. You're punishing me. No, Kenna said. I am only protecting my peace. I am not used to noise and drama. Those words landed like a stone on her head, and she just stood there like a deflated balloon while he continued washing. Then he added, Kewe, I like you, but you can't continue behaving like the world must adjust to you. Sometimes you have to adjust too. When she got home that evening, she threw her bag on the floor and screamed into her pillow. For the first time, she didn't know how to win this fight. And to make things worse, as time went on, Kenna became distant. He would reply with short texts, end calls quickly, and no longer called her pet names. Kewe tried everything like sending funny memes, voice notes, and even showing up with food. But he didn't melt. One day, she complained to her mother, Mommy, can you believe this man is now forming pastor? Her mother smiled. My daughter, maybe God sent him to train you small. Mommy, please, don't join them. Oh. You are supposed to be on my side. Mama Ero chuckled. I am on the side of whoever will give me grandchildren before I die. And then the real heartbreak came one Sunday evening. Kewe was scrolling on Instagram when she saw a picture of Kenna tagged at a restaurant with another woman. Her stomach twisted. She zoomed in like a detective and the caption read, "Good people still exist. Thank you for the treats, boss." She nearly threw her phone away. Boss? So I am dating a boss and the side chick is thanking him publicly? She rushed over to his house again, banging his door like a tax collector. Kenna opened, looking calm as usual. Kenna, who is this girl? Kewe snapped. He sighed. Which girl? Don't pretend. The one that called you boss. She's my staff, Kenna simply said. Kewe snapped. Oh, so now you are CEO, Abi? Yes, he said with that straight face that always scattered her drama. I am the CEO of my peace of mind. Kewe was speechless. Kenna continued. See, you don't trust me. You don't listen. You just create storms and expect everyone to dance in them. Is it fair? Kewe shouted. So you are breaking up with me, Abi? Kenna nodded slowly. Yes, Kewe, I am tired of noise. That night, Kewe cried like she had never cried before. It wasn't just heartbreak. It was pride melting in tears. Her siblings were confused because she refused to talk to anyone. Even the family dog didn't bark around her that week. Everybody was mute and quietly waiting for Kewe's volcano to erupt again. But it didn't. For the first time in her life, Kewe learned silence. And then, life decided to finish the lesson that Kenna started. A few weeks later, Carol helped Kewe get a small office job as a customer service representative in a microfinance company. Everyone in the family rejoiced. Yoma exclaimed, at least, she'll stop disturbing this compound. Well, the first few weeks went smoothly until her mouth put her in trouble. One morning, her boss called a meeting and criticized the staff. Kewe, who was unable to control herself, raised her hand and said, Sir, with all due respect, it is not us, it is the system that is disorganized. The whole office went silent. The man looked at her slowly and said, Miss Kewe, are you teaching me how to run my company? Kewe tried to laugh it off. No, sir. I am just saying it as it is. The man nodded. Good. Then, as it is, you can stay at home for a week to rest your mouth. That was how Kewe got her first suspension. When she told Carol about it, hoping for sympathy, he only said, well, maybe this will teach you diplomacy. Kewe rolled her eyes. So you won't even pity me? He replied, pity doesn't help people grow. That statement pained her more than the suspension itself. Unfortunately, during her suspension, her business slowed down. So she had no money to maintain her nails or buy new wigs. Her once loud Instagram page became silent, and when her friends called to hang out, she gave excuses. Meanwhile, Kenna was flourishing. She would see his posts designing new logos for big clients, traveling to Lagos for work, and looking peaceful and fine like somebody that was allergic to stress. The contrast humbled her even more. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her heart was torn between pride and remorse. Before she slept, she sent him a long message. Kenna, I know I have been difficult. I am sorry for everything. I am learning. As usual, he replied with a short line again. Growth looks good on you. However, from then on, they began to talk again slowly, but this time, the energy was different. Kewe didn't shout or nag. She just listened. She even surprised her family one day by helping her mother cook without complaints. Her father almost dropped his newspaper. Kewe, you dey cook voluntarily. Are you sick? Kewe laughed. Daddy, people can change for good. Carol whispered to Yoma. Ha, that Kenna boy deserves a national award. Then, the biggest shock came when Mama Ero, in her usual matchmaking spirit, invited Kenna for Sunday lunch without telling Kewe. When Kewe entered the sitting room and saw him sitting beside her father, she froze. She whispered to her mother, Mommy, what is this ambush? Her mother smiled sweetly. We just wanted a peace meeting. Kenna stood up, smiled and said, Good afternoon, Kewe. She smiled awkwardly. Afternoon. During the meal, Kenna talked with her parents respectfully. He complimented her mother's food, helped serve drinks, and even carried plates to the kitchen after eating. Her father looked really impressed. He whispered to his wife, If this one marry Kewe, hi, I will sleep well for life. When it was finally time to leave, Kewe followed him outside. Why did you come? She asked. Kenna smiled. Your mother invited me, and besides, I wanted to see if you are still shouting at people. Kewe laughed. Not as much as before. Kenna nodded. Good. Keep it that way. That night, Kewe lay in bed thinking deeply. The same man she had once tried to control had now controlled her without even raising his voice. He didn't beat her or insult her. He just stayed calm until her own noise tired her out. By now, peace had finally returned to their household, and everyone credited it to Kenna. Even Papa Okemute confessed that if humility had a human face, it would look like that young man. For the first time in her life, Kewe no longer shouted when she woke up. She no longer fought with the gateman or accused the dog of following her too closely. It was so strange that the whole family became suspicious of her, especially Yoma, who whispered to Carol one morning, Do you think she's possessed? Carol replied, No, she's only healing. From what? From her mouth, he replied. Kewe had also started doing small things that shocked everyone. She would sweep the compound without being forced, buy her father newspaper, and even cook without arguments. The compound people began calling her Madam Born Again. But deep down, Kewe still missed Kenna. They had started talking again, but things were not the same. He was polite and friendly, but not romantic. He no longer called her baby, Madam Wahala, or my noise machine. He was just formal, and she didn't like that distance. One evening, Yoma told her, You better go and fight for your man before another woman enters. Kewe frowned. No, I can't chase him now. I have embarrassed myself enough. Yoma laughed. Oh, so you now know what embarrassment is? Kewe hissed. Sister, beg now. Well, fate had its own plans. A few weeks later, Carol announced his wedding and the whole family rejoiced. During the wedding preparations, Mama Ero had the bright idea to make Kenna the official graphics designer for the invitations and banners, since everyone already liked him. Kewe's heart skipped when she heard the news. Why not hire someone else? She asked. Her mother smiled knowingly. He is our family friend now, remember? Kewe muttered. This woman is planning something. The wedding day came and the family compound was full of music, laughter and jollof rice. Kewe wore a simple Ankara gown, nothing loud for the first time, and she helped coordinate things quietly. Everyone kept giving her side glances and whispering, Kewe don't change, oh. In the middle of the celebration, she heard a familiar voice behind her say, Madam Thunder, you look calm today. Should we call fire service? She turned and saw Kenna, dressed in a white native outfit holding a camera. Her heart skipped. Oh, so you came? Kenna smiled. Of course. How could I miss seeing your transformation live? Kewe rolled her eyes but laughed. You and this your sarcasm. Kenna grinned. I learnt that one from you. Throughout the event, Kenna was busy walking, snapping pictures, talking to people and laughing. Kewe found herself watching him from afar and wondering why he looked happier without her. It pinched her soul. Later in the evening, after the music had died down and most guests had gone, Kewe found him sitting alone and checking his camera. She walked up slowly and said, "You are still here?" Kenna looked up and smiled. "I was waiting for traffic to reduce." Kewe sat beside him quietly, twisting her fingers. For a few minutes, they said nothing. Then she blurted out, "Kenna, I miss you." Kenna didn't look up immediately. "Do you mean you miss shouting at me?" Kewe sighed. "No, I miss the peace and the way you made me feel balanced." Kenna laughed. "So I am now your blood pressure medication?" Kewe smiled shyly. "Maybe." There was a long pause, then she said, "I have changed, Kenna. Not because I want to please you, but because I saw what my attitude cost me. I lost good people, good moments, and even myself." Kenna turned to her and said, "That's good, Kewe, but change isn't a speech, it is consistency." Kewe nodded. "I know, I am still learning." He nodded slowly. "Then keep learning. I never stopped caring about you. I just stopped trying to control what doesn't want to be calm." Kewe looked at him. "And now?" Kenna smiled. "Now, maybe you are finally calm enough to listen." For the first time, Kewe didn't rush to speak. She just nodded quietly. The silence between them wasn't awkward anymore. It was just peaceful. A few days later, Kenna started visiting the house again. Everyone noticed and rejoiced, especially Mama Ero, who started calling him my in-law in faith. Whenever Kewe rolled her eyes, her mother would say, "Don't roll it too much, before the man disappears again." As weeks passed, their friendship became stronger. This time, Kenna didn't treat her like a fragile princess, but like an equal partner. He made her accountable. If she got angry unnecessarily, he would just walk away. If she complained, he would say, "Choose between being right or being peaceful." Gradually, Kewe learned balance. She stopped arguing for the last word and she learned to apologize without acting like it was a favor. And when she messed up, she didn't hide behind tears or excuses. Her siblings were stunned. One evening, Yoma said, "I can't believe it. The same Kewe who used to fight the TV remote is now peaceful like boiled yam." Kewe laughed. "God used Kenna to humble me." Baba Okiemute nodded. "That boy deserves a lifetime pension." And then, one Sunday during family lunch, Kenna was invited by Mama Ero again. When they finished eating, Papa Okiemute cleared his throat and said, "Kenna, my son, what are your intentions towards my daughter?" The whole room went silent. Kewe nearly choked on her drink. "Daddy!" Her father raised his hand. "Quiet, let the young man speak." Kenna smiled and said, "Sir, my intentions are honest. I just want to make sure she remains the peaceful woman she's becoming. Marriage or no marriage, I will always respect her." The room went on like a Nollywood choir. And after that day, everyone started calling them the couple that quarreled with thunder and made peace with rain. Months later, they officially got back together, and whenever her siblings teased her about her period of terror, Kewe would laugh and say, "Even hurricane has retirement age." Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share your thoughts about the story with me in the comment section. What lessons did you learn from the story? Kindly share the story out with your loved ones and give the story a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring another story your way. Bye!